Hey everyone, my name is Kim. Let's drop in and see what are the most prominent energies surrounding the collective at this time. Remembering always that energy is fluid. Some of these messages might not go in the order in which you experience the energies, and some of them may have already occurred in the past for you. Always take what resonates, leave what does not. Do not try to force a message here. Okay, let's jump in because there is a very clear message here about tough cycles closing out. There is a lot of symbolism going on right now. I mean, we are coming to the end of the calendar year. We are about to step into a new energy, fresh starts. This is about going inwards and really kind of understanding what it is that was artificially making you happy and what actually lights you up. There is this big push right now to stop trying to convince yourself of things that make you feel good and actually go after those things that, again, light you up, bring that spark and sense of joy to you. This feels like a major unmasking of doing things in a way that just we were doing them for social reasons, security reasons. Maybe it's just because that's the way we've only known to do certain things, but it's almost like there's light bulbs going off right now to be like, why do I actually do things this way? Is there a different way? And yes, there is. There is I feel like the feeling that I'm getting here is almost as if this is again so significant because it's not just about, oh, like I tried that and I didn't like it, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. This is about the way you have been living your life. And that's why I'm saying it with such emphasis here, because this isn't something small. This is literally a restructuring of your life. The message again is about a new happy beginning coming in. You have the Ace of Cups here. The aces are about planting seeds of intention, something that hasn't quite come to fruition yet. You can't see all the details, or you don't know exactly the way in which it's all going to unfold or how it's unfolding, but there is this energy right now that seems to be teetering back and forth, where one moment you're seeing that clear path moving forward, as my friend said the other day, this flip-flop between I got this and quickly moving into I don't got this, right? It's funny because there is, on an energetic level, this resonance that we have with this new change that's coming in. But with this Two of Swords and the Two of Pentacles energy here, again, we are flip-flopping back and forth, because one minute we're trusting in what we are feeling, and the next minute we're like, but I don't see it, so how can it be true? Get away from what logically and practically makes sense, right? You are picking up on this energetically, and that is why you feel this change happening. This change is happening below the surface before it starts to reveal itself outwardly in our physical life, right? Again, with this Two of Swords, I feel like this is almost there's like this clearing out right now where life may be throwing curveball after curveball at you to say, are you still believing in these thoughts? Are you still going to let what doesn't make sense to your mind convince you that what you are feeling is not correct? There is a very big message here about listening to what your gut is saying instead of what the logic of your mind is saying. And that's not to say our mind is one of our best friends, right? It's not to say that dismiss your thoughts and don't pay attention to them, but also keeping in mind that, again, here, the ego can be a little bit at play here. This was the closing message that I got for this spread, the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords, which is saying your mind, when you are experiencing change, will try to keep you in a place of familiarity. It likes to know the outcome of things. Even if it doesn't like the outcome of a certain pattern, certain habit, whatever it is, our minds tend to prefer that over the unknown. So don't allow the trickery of your mind deceive you into not believing in what it is that you are already instinctually and intuitively feeling. That is how the ego works. Again, the ego is not bad. The ego is just our red flag system. It goes off when, again, things are changing and we're stepping outside of our norm or outside of our comfort zone. But you don't grow unless you step outside of that mode, right? So what we need to kind of focus more in right now is there's, again, a lot of twos in this space, and twos represent the balancing of things. It's taking this fact and that fact and trying to find a harmonious balance to it. But I feel like this actually goes outside of looking at things in a terms of black and white. This is about saying, yes, there is this information. Yes, there is this thought and feeling, but they can both be true. More than one thing can be true at the same time. And I think that's where this strike in harmony and balance is coming in with these, again, Two of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Two of Wands. Everything right now is a little bit of a balancing act. But the Hierophant is here to say that this is happening. You might be kind of going back and forth, because it's like the old mind challenging the new mind, and the new mind coming in and saying, does this piece of the old mind and old way of doing things still serve us? And if it doesn't, the two sides are going to kind of go at it until, again, a harmonious balance is found. Both things need to coexist. And this learning of trusting in what you are instinctively feeling instead of just needing to see it with your eyes in order to believe it is what the higher lesson here is. You are learning to trust more in your instincts. You are learning to listen to your intuition more. You are learning to say that just because something doesn't make sense on the surface doesn't mean that it's not happening. If you feel something, if you can envision something, then that is true. That is your truth. It only hasn't cultivated in a physical form yet. And that's what this teeter-totter energy is bringing for you, is a higher lesson and understanding that both things can be true. You can look at it and say, well, I don't see it, so I'm questioning it. That is a truth. You can feel it and say, but something in my gut tells me this is real. That is also true. This is about taking the two and saying, okay, I believe something can be true, but it hasn't come about yet. So how do I get there? How do I take what I am thinking and feeling energetically and make it physical and tangible in my real life? For the advice side of this reading, Five of Pentacles and the Hermit card, this is about paying attention to how true certain things you tell yourself are, right? Like if you always have a fear of money or not having enough of it, like if this is something about scarcity, think about this clearly for a second. How have you gotten to where you are now? Have you always managed to find a way? Even if it's a struggle, if you take your time out to refocus, to trust, chances are you are going to yield the results that you want. But that's where choice comes in. And that is, again, where the logic and the intuition is kind of coming head to head right now. Because you're probably even listening to me and going, yeah, Kim, sure, that sounds great in theory, but like if I don't have money at the end of the day to pay X, Y, and Z, what am I going to do? I get it. I'm not saying that that's not true. What I'm saying is that you need to lean into the side of trusting that there will be resources provided to you, that you will find a way to do it. Because in doing that, that initiates our willpower to obtain those things. Okay? All right. I had to catch my breath there as well. All right, let's jump in. I want to pull clarifying messages for each of the zodiac signs, just to wrap up this reading. Again, keeping in mind what the bigger picture here is. The bigger picture is that there are things happening below the surface, but it is up to us and our choice to harmonize the two sides of things, okay? So let's go through. I'm just gonna pull them straight from the top. I already shuffled and preset the deck. Capricorn. Capricorn, you have the Eight of Swords, which you're probably listening to me. If you made it all the way through and you're looking at me like, Kim, what? Like, none of this is making sense. I get it. I hear you. But it's remembering that the swords are just thoughts. It's literally, it looks like it's a physical item, but swords represent air. It's not actually there. It's your thoughts convincing you can't do something. It is your belief systems that are keeping you stuck and stagnant. This is your call to pay attention to those thoughts, because those are the thoughts that you are meant to find that balance and harmony within. Aquarius, Four of Cups. This is about you feeling like something's just not good enough, feeling like, why am I even trying? Indifferent to the way things have been going. If you are feeling indifference, or if you are feeling like something is just not enough, then you have to make a choice to decide what you keep putting your time and energy into. Because if you keep putting time and energy into something that's not yielding a feeling or a result that you want, that is where your choice lies in. It really is in your power to do something different. It doesn't have to be drastic, but it could even just be the way that you are perceiving something that will help shift that energy. Pisces, Three of Cups. Okay, Pisces, we like this because you're a very, very intuitive sign. And I feel like this is you feeling this sense of things coming together, things feeling fulfilling. Maybe it's coming together with friends and family over the holiday, but I feel like I always laugh and kind of say like, Pisces live in a different reality because your dream states are often very active. It's like you get these like nudges and downloads before most people receive them. So I feel like you are kind of ahead of this energy a little bit. So you might be somebody who listened to this reading and said, yeah, this is all making sense, but a lot of this has already happened. You seem to be going into that place of acceptance and surrender to how things are, and that's creating this flow state energy for you. Aries, King of Wands. There is your prominent energy there, Aries. King of Wands is the king of taking action and forward momentum towards things that inspire you, things that you seem to be, in the grander picture of this message, leaning towards doing those things that spark the joy instead of doing the things that once made you feel depleted. I feel like you're actually very focused right now, Aries. You have your eyes on the prize is what I'm hearing. So this is good because you don't seem to be so much in that teeter-totter space anymore. It almost is like I'm getting the feeling you have this understanding of the two sides. And again, you're taking action towards the side that uplifts you instead of depletes you. Taurus, Two of Swords. Okay, Taurus. I felt the instant weight as soon as I picked up this card. This feels like I don't know which way to go. I'm just going to stand still because I don't know if this is right. I don't know if that is right. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I feel you going through your head so much that you get to a point where you're just like, I'm not going to think about it at all anymore. Don't judge yourself for being here, okay? And like, I feel like that's a very, very clear, needed message for somebody. Do not judge yourself if you need a break away from it, okay? If your thoughts are running wild and they are feeling heavier than more productive, then that is okay. Let yourself take that time out because you'll actually see so much clearer if you just give yourself the time to rest and reflect. Gemini, Two of Cups. So many twos, okay? Like I'm telling you, there's so many twos coming out in these spreads. Two of Cups is about that exchange, but I actually just felt this feeling of standing on the outside looking in. it's almost like you're kind of reflecting in terms of your relationships, your dynamics, the way that you've shown up, the way other people have shown up. And I feel like this isn't a heavy feeling. I feel like maybe this once was, but you've actually transmuted quite a bit here, because now you're looking at it and you're like, I can show up in that way that I've always wanted to. I deserve somebody who shows up for me the way that I've always wanted to. It doesn't have to be a person. This could just be like an energetic exchange between you and another energy. But this is like almost coming to this sense of understanding of, yeah, this is possible. And that's a really beautiful place to be, Gemini. Cancer, the Tower. Okay, Cancer, this is a heavier energy, but not necessarily a bad thing. Tower is actually, everybody gets spooked when they see the Tower card. And like for me, I don't, because when you believe in self-alchemy and you understand what that means, you know that the Tower moments are so pivotal and important, because this is about the coming down of something, some sort of structure and foundation that is not working for you anymore, letting it come down so that you can rebuild. It's that feeling of when you hit rock bottom, you have nowhere to go but up. And I'm not saying this is a rock bottom moment, but if you're feeling a little bit like things are kind of falling around you right now, let them fall. Let them fall. Don't exhaust yourself or burn yourself out trying to pick up the pieces again. Wait until the dust settles, because that will give you clarity of what to take moving forward, what is working, what is not, and then you can rebuild from there with clarity. Where am I going? Wrong deck. Leo, the Star card. Leo, I feel like this is a very I don't know why I just heard choice as soon as I picked up that card. I feel like you've recently made a decision, and even though it may not have been an easy one, it's something that is going to bring you so much healing. Like this feels like starting off on this new journey of unlimited possibilities. And the Star card is about, the sky is the limit. It's healing. It's finding balance within ourselves and our surroundings. But again, I just feel like this very important message of having had made a difficult choice that is actually in some way going to help shift and pivot your future movements. This is like coming out of this feels very deeply rooted, and that's why I'm struggling to find my words here a little bit. It's almost like something that has been holding you back or holding you in place for so long finally being recognized and making the choice to move away from it. So now you have kind of like this clear slate moving forward, and it's going to bring lots of healing and lots of opportunities to you, Leo. All right, Virgos. Virgo, there you are showing up in your own form with the Hermit card. Virgo, right now, I'm laughing because I'm a Virgo as well. And this just like, yeah, it just made me giggle. I'll clarify why in this message for you. But this is about doing things from a place that you feel grounded, restored, and clear. The Hermit tucks away and pulls himself outside of everything so that they can reassess. And when they come about and reemerge, they take baby steps moving forward. The Hermit is holding a lantern, which indicates that there is darkness around. There's a lack of clarity happening right now, but it's in small, methodical steps that you hold this illuminating light. You don't need to see the bigger picture right now. In fact, the bigger picture is not what's important right now. There is something within you that's renewing or recalibrating that this literally feels like a breaking out of a cocoon moment. You've gone through a major transformation, so don't rush getting to the next phase, because this process of transition is actually super important, because you're not just doing new things, you're approaching things as a different version of yourself. And that's a really, really beautiful space to be in. Okay, Libra. Five of Swords. We saw that Five of Swords as the overall final message for your previous reading, or the initial reading here. Do not let your need to understand, your want for control of things, to detour you from what is actually going on. I feel like I kind of just got an image of somebody, like, it's almost like feeling like slipping back into an old habit, because you're maybe feeling a little bit depleted, tired, your thoughts are getting the best of you. And it's like, well, if that's how it's going to be, then like, I'm just like, whatever, right? I'm going to go have a drink, or I'm going to do whatever. It's like not knocking anything. That's the visual that I'm getting. But it feels almost like you've taking yourself out of a very productive routine that you've been in. And it's because you're trying to keep things making sense again in that way that you can physically interpret and understand it. But remember, this is about trusting what you are instinctively feeling, not necessarily what you are seeing yet in the physical. Scorpio, King of Swords. Scorpio, I feel like this is you just being like, yes, no, forward, backwards. Just you are sitting there and looking at everything with such a clear mind right now. This is about having gained certain wisdom, having gone through certain experiences, and now taking everything in a very analytical approach. The King of Swords is like the king where if you're strategizing, if you're plotting something, you are going to look at things from every single angle, and you're going to see things that other people don't see, because you don't just experience things, you take the wisdom of what has happened and you use those to benefit you moving forward. I feel like you have a very clear vision right now. You, again, may not know what the bigger picture is, but the way you are approaching it is very in aligned with what makes practical sense. Just remember here that there is this nudge to listen to the intuition still as well. Sagittarius. Lots of sword energy. Sagittarius, you got the Ace of Swords. Okay, this is clarity moments. I feel like this happens a lot around birthday seasons. Happy birthdays, by the way, Saggies. This is about coming to certain revelations about things. This is a card of prosperity. This is to say that even if certain truths may have been hard to digest or initially take in, there's wisdom and there's clarity here that's going to help you moving forward. This is about trusting in the information that you've taken, that you've received. Even if it doesn't fully connect the dots yet, it will, okay? All right, everybody, if you are still here until the end, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. It's always a blessing and an honor to spend this time with you. I will check in again in the next couple days. Bye.